Hey everybody, welcome to NFT Hype again. We got a interview with some really cool folks in the Wax ecosystem dropping the CryptoTwerpz project. We got Matt McGivern, the CEO, and Aris Mikalotos. It's a Greek name, I think, right?
Yes, it is. A
Nice.
Yeah,
little bit.
cheers.
Opa. Yeah, there we go.
Opa.
Opa!
Uh,
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate being on the show today.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. Yeah.
Big Mike, so you've been involved with this since nearly the beginning. Why don't you tell us how you got involved and what you know about it so far?
Well, I got this random message from Etherfan saying, hey, you should join us here. And then all of a sudden I was in this weird Discord room and there's these people talking about these crazy cards and showing off this amazing art. And I'm just like, oh my God, what's this all about? And they're like, oh, we want you to join us and like make these cool CryptoTwerpz cards. And I was like, yeah, I'm super down. I love this. This is awesome. So we've been working together for the past couple months now, trying to get everything going, and I've been organizing the community and trying to get some more interest and get people to know about twerps and what we're doing. And yeah, what about you, Matt? What was the whole like? Why did you decide to bring CryptoTwerpz to Wax?
So ever since I was a kid, I've loved Garbage Pail Kids and funny cards. Basically, it just kind of runs through my veins, right? And so, but then you grow up and you get a little, you get a job and stuff, and you kind of part of that imagination disappears. It's slowly stripped away, not maliciously so, but it just kind of happens sometimes. And then, when I found out about blockchain and stuff, I really was interested in that technology. But then when the NFT, the whole idea of digital collectibles came around, right? You're fusing two of my main things right together, and you have to take the opportunity when you see it, right? And so what did I see that made it, a no-brainer for me was that when Tops, and Wax announced that they were going to launch Garbage Pail Kids on Wax, right? And I didn't really know much about Wax at the time, but you better believe that I learned more about it when I heard about Garbage Pail Kids, right? That's what drew me to the ecosystem. And so, I remember, I'll never forget the day that I got that, and I'm such a nerd, right? I got that notification, I saw that this was happening, and I had just recently started collecting Garbage Pail Kids again. It was a big coincidence. I had no idea this was going to come, right? And so now it's, what was it, the 35-year anniversary that they decided to do this. And so
Very cool.
all these things are kind of going around in your head, and you're thinking, when I was a kid, I had this idea of doing my own trading card series, and it just, boom, it just hit me like a lightning rod. This, if I'm ever going to pull this off, this is the time to really be involved right now, And I'm just really glad that a lot of people resonated with that vision, and it really did kind of take on a life of its own. I didn't really have to, prospect anybody and really, beg them to be involved. It just sort of kind of just came together, and rather quickly too. I mean, we've got some guys on our team, Jeremy, Usman, Val, you, Mike, Aris, and I just kind of drip fed this idea, and I had an artist, Samuel, I had him do a couple of cards just so that I had some content to show. And when I dropped that in, everybody it just happened. We got to create this group, and it was like, this is happening. It was very, very exciting time. Very exciting. This was,
Yeah, everything just gelled, right?
yeah, I mean, it was like June, right? June, July timeframe. And
Yeah.
And what really set all of this in motion and really got it really going hard was the fact that we were all into the Garbage Pail Kid card, right? So that brought us together in a way that I just don't think would have been able to happen if I was just randomly asking people if they wanted to be involved in this, right? We had that connection already that we loved GPKs, and we were already talking about them, selling them and trading them and gifting them to people. And so that was the spark kind of that ignited, the beginning of this. Yeah.
I love how you
And
guys.
you're like, you're a big time Ethereum guy, right, Matt? So for you to
Yeah.
come to Wax is kind of a little bit of a coup for us, right?
Oh, let me tell you a little bit about that. I mean, hardcore in Ethereum for 4 years, and literally nothing could sway me. You know, if you look at my Twitter, it's all Ethereum, 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 all the way up until like May, June, July, when I was quiet as hell because I'm trading these cards, right? I mean, I've literally disappeared on my Twitter for a couple of months. I was so into this, what was going on, and just what Wax has put together, the onboarding, and we can go into some of the details of that, right? I was thinking about it this morning about the onboarding into the Wax Cloud wallet, and you know, for the purists out there, it's a what do you call it? It's a custodial wallet, right? And so,
Hot
but
wallet.
right, and so for the purists, they might go, ah, it's a custodial wallet, but okay, but that's sort of like the entryway, right? So then if you
Exactly.
want to, you can go ahead and hook up a Ledger Nano and you can have that purist experience. But coming in through this way was really just kind of a way to just slowly introduce people and just kind of get them in. Whereas with Ethereum, it's like, well, you have to set up your MetaMask, and oh man, already there's a huge you know, challenge in front of you, right? And I know that there's some newer, better wallets that are out now, but one of the other things that really hit me hard was the fact that Wax has got that the idea of the packs, right? Selling the packs, and I think I think Ethereum is going to start catching on to this soon, right?
Wait, they don't have that yet?
Well, they kind of do. It's some of, you know, you had
Oh,
some
really?
packs with Gods Unchained, but that wasn't really done in the same way as Wax is doing it, right? And so I think that I'm guessing that the cost to do that is probably quite high, as you know, if you were to hire a developer to do that.
So if you were minting
so
in
that
Probably
real
because of the
time,
gas too. The gas issue
Yeah.
with the pack opening,
Well,
maybe. If you're opening it, you'd have to
That's the
open a
elephant
smart
in the
contract.
room, right?
Right.
That's the big thing is the
So,
gas cost right now.
as you would mint a card,
Yeah.
theoretically, for every card minted, you'd have to pay gas, right?
Absolutely.
Pay
I
a
mean,
gas
just to
for each
send
card.
tokens right now costs like what, $8 or something like that?
Well, it was $40 last night with this Uniswap thing going on. So if you're trying to do any transaction, the whole Ether network was flooded with these people trying to swap out these tokens. So it's $40 in gas fees to do anything, pretty much. When I tried to do something, I'm like, okay, I'll just wait, right? It's crazy.
Right. You know,
Nice.
and I think that in time, Ethereum's going to tame this beast. And I believe that, you know, I don't believe there's going to be a mass exodus, you know, because the community is strong there. But what I did see was that, you know, if you're trying to create a business like I am, you know, and you want to do trading cards and you want to have packs with rarities and all these cool little things, you know, you gotta adapt, right?
Have your
So
community
I had to put
trade,
my
right?
ideology aside just for the sake of making this project, you know, a reality, because the timing of it is perfect right now. I believe.
And you'd want to have your community trade the cards too, right? Like without having any friction to the whole trading process, right?
I missed that
We
first
missed.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
we
you're
missed
cutting
that,
out, but
Johan.
Oh, okay. I was saying like you want to have your community trade with a volume that you know is not available on the other chain. Not to bash it or anything, but you want to have your people who collect these cards actually be able to trade them and liquidate them or without.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Being able to transfer them is key, right? And you can't do that if it costs $8 every time you want to gift something or list, even just list something. Just the list
buddy-
something, right?
A buddy sent me an NFT from Rari last night and it cost him $12 just to move
Yeah.
it to my account. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
Like,
you're
could
at
you
the point
imagine like
now.
a $12 fee on each NFT? Like we don't even pay $12 for most of our NFTs.
Well, that's what I was just going to say is the fee is greater than the actual value of the asset, right? And so that, and we don't need to bash Ethereum because I'll always be at EtherFan on Telegram, right? And I'll always have a soft spot for Ethereum, and I think it does a lot of things well still. And you know, the fact that you know, people are willing to pay these fees to transact on it is absolutely mind blowing. You know, it's a good thing, and it's always going to be around. But Wax is really, I mean, you know, that's the thing is that Wax has really impressed me. You know, and I believe you me, it's taken it takes a lot to impress me, especially when we're talking about EOS, right? So the fact that this is an EOS, I forget the nomenclature.
EOSIO,
Based chain.
Fork.
Yeah.
You can say a fork.
EOSIO.
EOSIO.
Yeah.
But
Well,
wax,
it's a soft fork, right? Because it's
Yeah.
not a hard fork.
right.
Not a hard fork, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So as you can see, you know, we're still in an early stage of understanding, completely understanding all the ins and outs of the chain itself. I have enough of an understanding that I am not, you know, that I haven't, obviously that hasn't stopped me from wanting to launch this project on it. But there are a lot of cool little things that I hope to learn more along the way about how guilds get involved and block producers and, you know, what Wax's role is and all that stuff. So that's a lot of, you know, fun stuff to dive into for sure.
Aris, how did you come to Wax?
Well, kind of a similar story to with Matt there. Is just like I've always collected Garbage Pail Kids, and same thing is I've been drawing parody cards since I was a child, and I pretty much made my own sets and stuff. I've been an artist, and I'm an artist for Twerpz as well here. So it's funny is this, you know, during this quarantine, it just got me looking on eBay, just recollecting some Garbage Pail Kids that I used to collect, and I noticed they started skyrocketing, and I kept seeing these digital Garbage Pail Kids come up on my feed. So I missed the initial launch of Garbage Pail Kids on Wax, but I kept seeing these, and I'm like, these look pretty cool. And I finally clicked on them maybe after a week after the launch, and I'm like, oh, no way, these are on blockchain. And again, similar to Matt, I've been into crypto, Bitcoin, Dogecoin since 2013 to 14 when Doge like started launching. So I'm like, it's right up my alley. So what I did is I went over to Wax and set it all up, and then I was hooked right away. And then I realized, wow, this is it. Like the pack simulations that they did really got me. I'm like, this is it. So they're digitizing assets on blockchain, and you're actually doing pack simulations and creating that type of that excitement you would get in a physical pack, because I was a big sports card collector as well. So to really like feel that and almost like a dopamine rush, and you get those rarities. And I got a CE, one of my first packs, and I went nuts, and I had it recorded, and I was like,
You're just hooked.
You know that kid getting that Nintendo 64? That was me. I started like screaming and cussing and joining.
What did you get? A Wendy? Was it a Wendy?
Yeah, I got a Wendy, and my wife thought I was a psycho. I'm like, don't worry, I'm just collecting Garbage Pail Kids here.
Now you're a confirmed psycho.
Yeah, exactly. I just confirmed it more. And you know, Mike and I have been working too. Like we started drawing people in the community, and I've been drawing a lot of different stuff and started doing different art. And once, you know, so once I heard about Twerpz, like Mox and I were there, and we aligned with our vision as well. And I really like the guys, and we just honestly, we've been having a blast this whole time. We get along really well. We keep getting ideas, and we keep really building that and snowballing into this beautiful, beautiful project. And people, it's not all corporate. It's not like a corporation where you have to do it this way or that way. It's like everyone has different innovation and ideas, and we're coming together, creating truly unique art. And that it's a community that we're building as well. That's been really, really awesome and great. And just to see like the product and to see the feedback and Telegram grow and people excited about it, it makes me happy, and I'm super, you know, psyched and happy to be part of it, you know?
Yeah, I haven't been as much involved in your Telegram, but what is your supply of the cards? I guess I would say, is that something that's not yet finalized until launch, and also what is your timeline?
Right. So the timeline is the easy one, right? We're going to do late Q4, quarter 4 of this year. That's our plan, and we're sticking to it, and we think that that's doable. There are a lot of things that need to come together to make this happen. And one of the things that we haven't mentioned yet is that we have 18 artists on board, including Aris and Mox and Monk, and that, you know, that to manage all of that artwork and to make sure that everybody's on, you know, on the right timeline and that they're getting their art done is a huge task. I mean, I really underestimated. What's that?
Can you describe that a little bit more? Like, so like tell us how we found the artists and what the whole process is there and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So what I wanted to do was sort of like crowdsource our artists and just kind of like have them see, you know, this is an opportunity that you can be involved in. This isn't like a thing where I'm hiring you, I'm going to pay you a salary, right? This is a thing where you are being drawn to this vision, right? The vision is multiple different card styles, parody, right, of these characters, and you have the freedom to either choose the characters that we've suggested, or if you have some idea that you basically wanted to do for a number of years, you could have the chance to do that. You know, and it's a, like Aris said, you know, there aren't a lot of hard rules involved here, right? We wanted to really make this fun for the artists, right? And so we give them as much creative ability as we can within reason. You know,
Right.
We want these cards to be funny, and we want the names to be funny. And so basically every card that has been designed now, and we're pushing on maybe around 50% of the 40 card set or so is about done now. And we revealed them, you know, to the public as they're done, and we're spacing them out. We have a bunch that we want to kind of roll out slowly, right? We don't want to blow our load, you know. We don't want to give everybody all the cards up front, but
that's been exciting, that part too, though, right?
But the thing is, it's working. You know what I mean? I mean, these artists absolutely love the project. I mean, every time I talk to them, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this project. And so, you know, since they're not getting paid and we're not commissioning them to do the cards in the set, we're giving them a percentage of the revenues from the sale, right? And so when you look at the percentage, the project, us, we're giving away 60% of the revenues that we're going to earn in the launch, right? Nice. So my company is only going to take 40%. And of course, we have big plans to possibly roll out a Series 1. So Series 0, right, in mathematical fashion, right, Series 0 is appropriate. But, you know, that's, we have every desire to go on to create Series 1. And that would then basically blow the doors off of, like, you know, the whole concept, right? I mean, this would really be talking about potentially hiring ex-Garbage Pail Kid, you know, creators and other artists that are really, 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 you know, that would really create a ton of value for us, you know, in terms of exposure, and it would be absolutely nuts. But so this is kind of the proving ground right now. And
so that leads back to the timeline thing, Matt. So what are we looking at for that?
So again, as I said, right, late Q4. What was the first question again, Johan? I forget what you asked there.
Oh, also we wanted to know mintage.
Yeah.
Mintage, yes, right. So we don't want to, you know, give away the numbers on the actual launch just yet, but with our promos, right? So we're approaching, how many have we done now? So like 5 or 6 now. 7, something like that, right? Including posters and stuff. We have all the mint numbers for those, and they're super, super low, right? Let me tell you something. I mean, nobody would let me get away with minting a high number these days, right? I mean, if I said 500, they would say 100, right? And I'm glad I listened too, because, you know, that was the right play. So, you know, with our very first promo, right? Promo 1 of Spoctalic, right? That's a sketch card by Mox Gonzalez. The number on that is 130, just 130. That's it, right? And the second one that we did was Da Hung Father, and that one was created entirely by Aris. I mean, he did basically everything on that, and it turned out great, right? So Da Hung Father is a play on Da Hong Fei, right? The founder of the Neo blockchain, and Aris is a huge Neo fan. And so, again, that speaks to what we're doing here, right? We're letting the artists decide which characters they want to do, right? And you'll see that actually is what ends up producing the highest quality art in the end. It really does. You can see it in the art, in the final product, right?
Well, and the funny thing,
the Da Hoagie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
Daddy in the Telegram feed. We did a contest, and he was trying to name a card, and he was trying to say Da Hung Father, but he said Da Hoagie. So we made a meme with the hoagie sandwich and the Da face on it. So
I like
kind
that.
of the community just having fun with it, you know. So,
I like that. Makes it enjoyable.
And, you know, we're going to take that
actually worried
concept.
about the Hung Father too, right? You were a little bit worried about that card, and then
well,
all of a sudden,
I just feel like
the Asian community was just loving it.
Yeah, I didn't know. Not a lot of people know who he is or the Neo, but then all of a sudden China comes, because we've been doing some promotions with China, like all these Chinese people. We really like the Da. He's great in the blockchain community and big for China. It's like, oh wow. you never know what cultures you're going to really affect, right? So it's good
You
to
know,
have all these.
I'll say this, that sorry to cut you off, Aris, but I'm so excited about what you just said was really an aha moment for me. And when we started this, right, my idea was that initially it was supposed to be all crypto personalities, right? We're doing parodies and we're just going to rake these guys over the coals and make them as funny as we possibly can. And if you look at our gallery, you'll see that, right? The first 6 cards or so that we did are all crypto personalities. But then it kind of dawned on me that, you know, we might actually be making the wrong choice here. Maybe we need to bring in some more general celebrities that people would resonate with more, right? So when we first started testing it and putting the cards out, people were going, I don't know who Charles Hoskinson is. I don't know, you know, I know Satoshi, but I don't know who McAfee is. I mean, and I was blown away. Oh man, I thought that was a little concerning to me, that you have people in crypto that are in the wax community and they don't know who these guys are. If they don't know who these guys are, then, and we're bringing in people that are cold off the street, you know, they don't know anything about crypto, those guys are really going to be bewildered, right? So then we sort of pivoted over to wanting to include general celebrities, you know, like Elon and stuff like that. But then guess what? It pivoted again, because, you know, we dropped the Da Hung Father, and China, the Chinese community really, really liked that card. And so now you know, you kind of come back again and you're like, well, wait a minute, you know, maybe we do really have, you know, and
I think just that mix just works
right?
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing I wanted to say was what's interesting about this whole project is how it's evolved. And I think that's important when you look at things. It's about the community. It's about the team, the CryptoTwerpz advisor group and the artists. We come together and we get so excited because we start spinning ideas, and these ideas of one thing all of a sudden, and the names or something just happens and like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, we get so excited because it really, the characters and the cards come together in a really awesome fashion. That's fun. And it's not, you know, we really just want to add to things and just make it better without, you know, taking it any type of aspect away. And that's like, we have crypto cards, we have celebrity cards, we have cards all over the place, but we just want them to be funny and them to like really create a reaction when people see them and to make them laugh like the original Garbage Pail Kids did. That's kind of like what we've been going for, right?
Absolutely.
So, I don't
Absolutely.
Are you guys gonna put like a lore on the back, like the Blockchain Heroes guys did, like for each character, a story behind it, or do you? I don't know. I haven't seen a back of a card yet.
Yeah, I mean, we would like to do that, but our timeline probably will not permit us. I mean, we're under a crunch right now. We have a website to build, you know, payment gateway to add. You know, we've got a lot of promos to do. I severely underestimated the need of the promos, right? But the promos, you know, you can really bootstrap a community by giving away cards. I mean, that, you know, I knew that when, you know, the Garbage Pail Kid hype and you start seeing these other promos coming, but it didn't really sink in until we launched this project and it got going, right? And that's just the insatiable, you know, desire to have these free promos. And you know, they're just digital ones and zeros, but that, you know, what is it though? It's the ownership, right? When they own it, there's something special there, and they will come and they will literally, they'll be dropping their wax address and they will do everything they can, bite, scratch, and claw to get their hands on these promos. And that has really been something that I think you just can't underestimate that. You know?
Oh yeah, you're talking to preaching to the choir. I've got like I used to have 3 Spockdolics. I traded one away, but I got 2.
Great.
I think you bought the first one, Johan, actually. Like the first
someone was dumping it. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
that low mint. You bought that low mint one, right?
I think it was number 13.
It was like 100 wax or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something cheap too, I remember,
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I love the card. I mean, it's so well done.
Yeah. And that's what we want to do, is we want to, you know, that's what I think separates us from the other projects. No disrespect to the other projects. It's just, I haven't seen the art that I want to see yet, you know, other than Garbage Pail Kids 1, which is, you know, takes me back to being a child, but I really wanted to create cards that I would just totally want and go after you know, and so we're doing that, and you know, it's
I kind of see like CryptoTwerpz as like lifesavers though. Like we have like a bunch of different flavors, right? Like it's not all just like it's not you're not buying like the butterscotch rum pack. It's like you're buying like the rainbow lifesavers, right? So you got like each card is a little bit different tasting.
That's
exactly.
awesome, man.
These cards can change, right? Like the Trump, when I was doing Trump, I'm like, he definitely needs to be an Oompa Loompa, right? So I started doing that. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get the poop emoji, and he's gonna be like licking a poop emoji lollipop. And then, you know, it was actually Andrew, you know, Dr. Aiken. He's like, you need to have Twitter birds in there. So then that evolved. So it's kind of cool just listen to friends, family, you know, community. We just start evolving cards that way. So it's cool to just listen and. It's just like, yeah, taking that fun. Like, again, I was telling Matt earlier, it's like we had a, you know, straw and spitballs, and we just start spitting them at everybody, and that's what makes it fun, you know?
Just see what sticks.
You know, we you know, someone said, well, you should really do stickers, right? Okay, let's do stickers, right? So we put the stickers out, and they're a huge hit, right? I mean, you got Dahogi, you know, and there may be a little you know, previews there of some of the other cards, you know, the Spoctalic, right? Nobody has seen the base version of this yet, right? But you get a little glimpse of what it looks like in the sticker, right? So
Guys, I'm making DAW Stogie right now for Remember 420. So I'm taking that DAW face on a big one and putting it out for Mr. 420 out there. So
this seems like the one project that's kind of like a not politically correct type of thing. Just go with it. What's fun and what's awesome, right? And what's, you know, have a good time with it. So
that would be the one thing that really attracted me to this project, was because like I'm not a big fan of politically correct. So anything that like flies in the face of that, I'm all for. Like bring that on.
Well, that's what Garbage Pail Kids was, right? Like originally it was not politically correct. This was the 80s, and things were just like, what the heck? And you know, they're getting banned in schools, and kids were loving them. And to be a little bit like that now, you have to be a little bit more risque, but you know, not too crazy. And that's kind of where we are. We're having fun, but we're not too crazy. You don't want to bring up, you know, any racism or anything like that. You have fun with just ideas of, because there's a bunch of clowns and twerps literally everywhere in this world, and you can't laugh at yourself and other people. What's the point, right?
Totally, man.
Well said, man, for sure. So when are we going to drop? Because I'm really excited to discuss the news of our, you know, right now.
We should. I guess maybe we should get Aris to talk about this card and maybe his process with it. And
can I at least announce what it is? Just
go for it.
Yeah. And you know, we're doing it. We're creating a card that's going to entitle the owner to random airdrops, right? And so by virtue of holding this card, you know, we understand that it's always difficult to go around and always try to have to catch these new promos, you know, as they come out. And so if you hold this one card, then, you know, maybe your life is a little bit more easier because you don't have to go hunting around for all the other promos, you know. And so maybe that was the idea. And then I'm going to let Aris discuss what the card is and who, you know, all that. So take it away, Aris.
Maybe Johan, you can throw it up for us.
Oh, do you guys want to reveal it now, or we'll give the background first?
Background, I guess.
I'll just say a couple of things about it. And I think Johan, you guys are all, a few of you are part of Chibi's Global, and I saw the alpha with only 100 limited minted, you know, and then the Tau came out, and if no one knows what Chibi's Global is, they're doing that too. It's a RPG game coming out on Wax, and they started doing airdrops. And I mean, I see this growing in the NFT community, and it's just like, I see, you know, we're big on Twerp, but we want to also evolve it. And Matt mentioned some big ideas later in the future, but for right now, like, we don't want to just be, we want to have something special in our card. So we decided, hey, let's have airdrops as well, where people can get exclusives and possibly promos, or if we have extra cards of a promo, maybe they get dropped on these limited 100 accounts. So we started thinking of like, what card would be great for this? And I thought of the Lucky Charms Leprechaun, and Matt and I and a few others, we kept brainstorming. So we let's mess. Originally it was gonna be a hobo dropping from the sky like an airdropper, you know, like parachute. So then like, let's make Lucky Charms, but let's burn them up, and the Lucky Charms Leprechaun, and mess them up and make them look, you know. And then I threw an NFT bag and all this other stuff. And I guess, yeah, so this card's gonna be really special with only 100 available. There's gonna be pre-sales, and we're gonna drop them at Wax Stash and maybe Collectibles and a few other places and let people know, but it's not going to go out right away. But it's just going to be, everyone's going to want this card, and it's pretty much it, right, Matt? And definitely we'll have promotions dropped on it, and it's going to be a big one to start that I'll let you guys discuss. But yeah, go ahead and show the people what they want to see.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome, man.
Love it.
And Mox I did the artwork here, and Mox did the animation. Mox thought it was so good.
Hopefully you can see the animation in there. You know, there's a lot of motion involved, but you know, you got the smoke stream coming out, you know, the coins are, you know, falling off, the rainbow is coming in and out.
Yeah, it's just,
of course, the giant bag of NFTs.
Why is he crying? Would you be crying if you were burning and dropping from the air? It's like
an insane amount of pain.
He's like the Santa Claus, right, of the NFT wax world. So he has to deliver to all these high demanding people who just won't leave him alone. So he's not happy, but you know, he's definitely going to be delivering. So.
Now, just so on the left there's a code, and then there's a code on the right. Can you guys explain that?
Yeah. So you may be able to tell that those look like old arcade style buttons. We really like that, you know, that goes back to the 80s. There are some 80s themes, you know, throughout these types of cards, but the PR0 stands for promo from series 0. So every promo that we're going to be dropping in this series is going to have that same badge there, the PR0. And then the 6Z just corresponds to the order in which we're dropping, minting, I should say, or not minting, but the order in which they're becoming available, right? So 6 means that's the 6th promo that we've dropped, and Z sort of is an additional modifier just to kind of help people separate out the difference between our launch series and our promos. So these promos are going to be available before we launch, up until we launch. And then after we launch, the promos are going to be separated into X and Y cards, right? And so just like in old school Garbage Pail Kid fashion, you know, every card had 2 different names, right? And so we're following that, and every card is going to have an X version and a Y with a unique name. So the Z is there just to kind of, you know, impress the fact that it's a promo card. It's a, you know, we're dealing here with math, right? Complicated math stuff, X, Y, and Z, series 0, right? We like trying to keep that little theme intact.
That's cool. Awesome. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, just stop the share there, guys. So why don't you guys talk about, like, what are you guys excited about in the wax world other than your project? I know you guys have been heads down, but it would be kind of, other than GPK,
yeah, I mean,
OS2, maybe?
Absolutely OS2, you know, you better believe. In fact, I was just talking to Aris on the phone today, and I said, I'm a little worried that when OS2 drops, our entire crew is going to be shiny object, you know? And so, I mean, I you know, I'm not that worried about it. It's just kind of a joke, but I mean, there is some truth to it, right? We're collectors. We're all collectors.
What do you
love these things.
What do you think about the potential COGS method that they might try here? Have you heard about that? So they're talking about doing like a multi-variation, like super long pack sale, like 3-hour pack sale.
A timed release.
And then having like massive amounts of cards and then doing a burn afterwards or something like that.
You know, I really am all in favor for trying out these different little mechanisms and seeing, you know, what really works, because I think that in due time we're going to reach the right one, right? That everybody can kind of more or less get some consensus around and say, you know, this one, you know, maybe it's not perfect, but unless you're doing KYC, right, kind of have to do things the best way that you can that makes the most sense. So I'm all excited about seeing how the sales, how they evolve, you know, for sure.
Yeah, I like it too. I hope, I mean, it's just hard to say. It's like Tiger King was obviously a failure. I mean, they had a limited set of 30 total cards, right? 15A and 15B, and they had what, 240,000 or something like that, something crazy with the supply. So I think you just have to be cognizant of that when but Series 1 is way more popular. There's a bigger set. They're working their butt off to create more rarities and variations. That's what the VP at Topps Digital said. So to think of that, but we also like, you don't want to overdo supply. And I think Series 1 was just about right, and they sold out with almost very few people knowing about it. So I don't know, but I did want to say too is like I'm a big fan of Chubby's Global, and we are doing a cross promotion with that in the future and everything too. So I feel like there's some great projects out there, right, Matt? That we're definitely here to help each other out.
I mean, well, let's give a shout out to Joel and Travis. I mean, they've done some amazing work too. You know, I've been absolutely blown away at what they've been able to bring, what they have brought to the wax ecosystem. A lot of respect for all the different rarities and the creativeness and the just the strategy has been really eye-opening.
They knocked out their rarities. They knocked their rarities out of the park. Just really good stuff, and I like what they did there too. I mean, that's what made their project even more special. And like, look at that Genesis Electric. People still chasing that in the hero packs, right, guys? I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, that's smart. Like, you want to create that golden ticket effect, like that Willy Wonka golden ticket effect. And I think, yeah, you want to have cards like that that are almost impossible to get, but if you get it, the Holy Grail. I mean,
Aris,
special, right?
Do you want to talk about the box idea that you came up with? So Aris is really our chief innovator. You know, I mean, our innovator twerp. I mean, not only does he come up with some of these outstanding names for cards, you know, I mean, I just almost dropped the new one, right, for Gates. I don't want to do that yet, but Lucky Chard. I mean, Lucky Chard. I mean, that's a hilarious. I mean, you know, you hear it and you're like, you immediately know Lucky Charm, right? But it's not like, you know, there's something special to it. And I think that I want to start just calling it the Chard card, you know, Chard. You know, I was writing a blog post and I'm like, Chards, want this Chard, you know, and it's just, these things just take on a life of their own, like the hoagie meme does. But anyway, you came up with the idea of this special idea for digital boxes. And
well, like it goes back to I used to collect a lot of cards, and I used to open a lot of boxes, Topps Chrome and all this stuff, collecting all these guys, and I used to collect the rarest stuff and autographed rookie cards and jersey cards and all that. And there's something about it. And I remember even in Topps, they used to release, like, you'd open a box and there would be actually a refractor inside that was encapsulated in plastic, something nice already, right? That was there, and it was really exciting to open a box and you got this bonus. I'm like, you know, these digital pack simulations are great, but could we actually do a digital box where you open a box, you get your packs, you know, and all of a sudden there's a special nuclear refractor twerps, just one, you know, very limited, only in boxes. You get one card, and how, you know, we're gonna have very limited boxes, so let people, you know, we're gonna have our rarities are gonna blow people away as well, and that's exciting. And I think it's just fun to add that element to it, right? And that was just the idea, just going back to my background of like, as a collector, I want to be able to experience something like that, right? To open up something and to get that. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, is try to give the user and the collector as much, you know, joy and dopamine release as possible when they're opening our cards, right?
And so from a technical aspect, right, the box is actually a fungible token, right? It's a lot like the pack. The pack is a fungible token. One pack is the same value as the other pack, right? All other things being equal, not getting the mint number now we got mint, right? Mint numbered packs, right? So before that, with Series 1, there was no mint, you know, you didn't have a mint number assigned to a pack per se. But you know, the way that this works is the box is a fungible token, and when you unbox the box, when you open the box, what do you get? You get a number of fungible packs, you know, and one non-fungible exclusive, right? What you mentioned was the nuclear refractor card. That's one of the rarities, right? It's a play on the word refractor, right? Nuclear refractor, like you're breaking your arm, right? And so we, you know, again, that was I think that was an evolved thing between Aris and I, right? It just, these ideas, they kind of snowball, and then eventually they take on a life of their own until finally something drops out and you can't think of anything else but that one idea. And that's when you know that that's the name of the card, or that's the concept, or that's the, you know, the strategy, or what have you, right? So we've had a lot of fun. That is one of the most fun things that I think has kind of come out of this project, is that idea of, everybody getting involved and throwing ideas around until you settle on that one idea that cannot be denied, you know.
Do all the refractor characters, are they crying too?
Yeah, some of them, I'm sure a lot of them will be, you know, but you know, we got a lot of other gross and twisted little things in there, right? I mean, look at the Poompa Loompa, right? I mean, we've had some fairly influential people in the ETH world lately that have been talking about our cards and just commenting on them, and you know, the Poompa Loompa one is really, you know, that's another Aris favorite, right? And that one just turned out so well. But
can you tell the people listening right now, like, what we're gonna do, Matt? Like, as far as some of the other rarities, a couple of them, of the refractors, or no? Are we waiting on that?
Well, so, you know, in fact, and I'll be transparent here, we don't really even know. So let's be honest here. You know, Mox Gonzalez is heading up our rare department, right? Mox Gonzalez, who some of you may know from the different NFT platforms on Ethereum, his work sell out really, really quick. But he's doing a lot of additional work, including you know, animating these cards as well, right? And we've given him basically carte blanche to he and another really wonderful artist named Mr. Monk, right? They're working on the animated parts, and so, you know, it is a back and forth process, right? We got a little glimpse of what Mox is working on for our I guess, I don't know what technically would be called the second rarity, because you have the commons, right? And everybody knows those are just still cards, right? But then the next level deep is the simple refractor, right? And so we want them to look, and obviously it makes sense, right? The rarer the cards get, the cooler the effect should be in theory, right? And so this first one, we got a little sneak preview of what he was working on, and where everybody's, you know, you hit something big when everybody comes to that private chat and all they want to do is sit there in the chat for an hour and go back and forth about different ideas and how to make it better, and you know, how excited they are to see this effect layer get applied to the simple refractor, right? So yeah, I don't want to go in, I don't want to promise anybody anything, because we may be changing some ideas, but the nuclear refractor, we thought it would, you know, be some kind of a rainbow effect. But you know, by the time you say what you think it's going to be, and it ends up, you know, transpiring and actually happening, it could be two different things, right? And so we want to give the artists the ability to kind of like just go where they want to go, you know, and then you know, and usually, and actually, I wouldn't even say usually, 100% of the time, the artists know what looks good, right? They've been artists for however many years. They've seen other art and they know what works, right? So when they tell you, hey, look, this is what my idea was, maybe at the most it's just, well, can you move this up like an inch or something? But more or less, it's done. You know, pretty amazing.
Matt, can we mention the other refractor yet, or no? The second rarest one.
You can mention the names of them. It's just we don't really know exactly what they'll look like.
Right. Well, I don't know if Johan, if you ever collected Topps Chrome or anything like that, but there's a special refractor that comes out, the black chrome ones with the black borders. And so I kind of came up with this idea to do a Black Death refractor, and then Mox, and then we all started evolving like, hey, let's put some skulls on a black border, and so that's going to be another even more rare. So there's going to be different grades of these refractors. So definitely we can twerp them out, and there's going to be some cool stuff too, obviously with the animations and all that too. But we don't know exactly what the numbers are going to be. But it's all, we have a good time brainstorming and figuring it out. But yeah,
that's the best part.
It's going to be awesome, and we're not going to disappoint people opening these packs, because there's going to be some cool stuff to get for sure, right?
I love that you guys are just having fun with it, right? It's the best part.
That is the best part. The best part is brainstorming different concepts and character ideas and little things that you add in the background and the names, you know, and I also really enjoy the colors too. I enjoy, you know, having a say in what the colors are going to be, or maybe we change this background color, or, you know, how do we tie this card in so that it has a really nice, you know, the banner is appealing, you know, and it complements the card. I mean, that for me, that just does it for me. If I could spend 100% of my time working on that, I would gladly do that, you know. But did we want to show some of the other cards in the gallery as well? Is that something that we can do? Because that really is our eye candy page right now. It's the gallery.
And where's that gallery?
CryptoTwerpz.com/gallery.
Okay, let me bring it up. Where do you guys, so CryptoTwerpz.com is your website?
Yes, that's our landing page.
Is it .io or .com?
.com, yep. .com. So .com is the landing page, and you can, if you want to subscribe to our newsletter and you want to be entered in a drawing to receive a, again, it's an Aris special, right? This Elon, elevated Elon card.
Is that the one where he's on the rocket?
Animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we just do we only give away Aris cards, or what's the deal there?
You know what happened, right? Was Aris was one of the very first on board, right? So now we're seeing the fruits of his labor.
Yeah, you stole them from me.
Yeah, but we're dropping. Well, it's a good thing you're on board now too, Mike.
Yeah, right. My project just grinded
Nobody's
to a
stalling.
halt.
We're just doing.
Sucked you into our
We're all busy, but this became this one evolved faster than others, right? So we said, okay.
Very true.
So
Very true.
Can you go back to that again, Johan? Yeah. You know, what is this? Go back to the main. Yeah. So again, this is us being funny, right? So you've got the arcade style buttons, you know, and we've tricked this out a little bit, such that you might have a different colored graphic or different colored buttons depending on what device you access it from. But I mean, you know, this is us being funny, right? If you're a lurker and you don't identify with the artist, you're not an artist, and maybe you don't identify with the collector, then what's the default, right? The lurker, right? So you know, we're trying to have fun. This is I think what I would like to think that we do this. This is one of the best things that we do, is just be silly, and you know, people really latch on to it. And they you know, like Aris said, you don't take yourself too seriously, right?
Yeah.
So when you click on
what's one of the other fun thing about Lurker, Matt? Can you tell us?
What about
well,
what?
How a lot of the multiple email addresses seem to be drawn towards the Lurker button?
So this is one thing that separates us from all these corporate types, right? We're actually gonna tell you some of the things, the inner workings behind the scenes, right, that you don't see, right? So yeah, of course we're gonna keep some secrets, but in this case, you know, we have a certain number of email subscribers that we get, right? Oddly enough, it's pretty obvious to us that there are guys out there with fake email accounts and by the truckloads that are opting into this site, right? Because they want every edge they can possibly get to get one of these elevated Elons, right? I mean, they're just smashing, you know, our this site, right, with fake emails, and you can tell they're all very similar, and they all come in a flurry, right? There'll be like 100 that'll come in like in a 20-minute period.
Really?
You know, and are all very similar too. The names are, you know, they're not American names. You know, they're all, and maybe one letter is tweaked out of order of this Gmail, you know, their email name, right? So you know they're fake, right? But oddly enough, most of them like to come in on the lurker button. You know, I don't know why.
That's
Maybe
funny.
it's just easiest for somebody to just sit there all day long with their mouse, you know, on that, and just, I don't know what, you know, or it's automated, you know, they automate, you know, but it is double opt-in, right? So you do have to click on the email in the inbox to you know, to opt in.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am actually signed up to your list. Well, guys, where can we find you guys on? We know where we can find you on the web. What about on Telegram? Or are you guys on Twitter as well?
Well, in fact, I would, and I think we can all agree, we would prefer that, you know, if you're going to get involved in any, you know, the first way you should get involved is obviously subscribe, but we want you in our Telegram. I mean, that's where everything is going down. You can't miss, I mean, you can't fully understand, you know, twerp culture without being in our Telegram, right? So that's just, and maybe we can throw up a link later, but t.me/CryptoTwerpz main, MAIN. CryptoTwerpz main, all one word.
And there's no underscore there, just CryptoTwerpz main.
Yeah, CryptoTwerpz main, t.me, right?
Yeah.
And then of course we have a Twitter. I mean, you wouldn't be a crypto-based project without a Twitter, right? So that's twitter.com/C T twerps. Anyway,
Yeah.
you'll get it. I'm sure you can put the link there.
Awesome.
Twitter.com
Yeah,
/
we'll throw it in. We'll throw it in the description.
I wanted to. Did we get to see a little bit of the gallery? It would really be great to show some of the.
Oh,
That's really,
I wasn't able to scroll on that screen. Is there something else there? Yeah, I don't see
You're
anything
muted,
else on
Aris. You're muted. Oh, are you talking to someone?
Sorry. No, I was saying, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just go back to the CryptoTwerpz.com, put /gallery to it, and it'll take you to the gallery.
Oh, I
I
see.
keep saying he can't.
After.com /gallery, and it'll take you right there.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we bring that up here? Here we go. PA.
There you go. There you
Oh,
go.
so it's hidden.
It's like Zelda. It's a secret to everybody. You just got to get 30 rubies right now.
You found the secret room, bro.
Of course, this is the slowest load time I've ever seen for this site. Usually is much quicker than that. There we go.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
You haven't seen this site yet, Johan. Oh, I'm glad we got to show it to you.
I've seen these cards as previews. They look great. Look at the colors. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the Gandalfs, those are a special collaboration with the Nifty Wizards guys.
Oh, yeah?
I know that, it's going to be a lot better if it's hard to see the motion, right, when you're doing it through a video like this. But
and who did these? So Aris did the Hung Father. Who did the Gandalf?
Right. So the Gandalfs were by the artist that did the very first twerps, named a guy. His name is Samuel Diaz. Really, really phenomenal artist. And he was the one that created the very first crypto twerp, which is bird brain butyrin. If you scroll down, you'll see that. But yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Oh, this guy here.
So you got. Let's go from the top here. So you got your elevated Elon. That was designed and illustrated by Aris. Animation was done by Mox.
And B actually helped transition with some of that star effect too, as well, the way it got stretched out. So Bianca did that, so that was cool.
Yeah. We've got a lot. So every one of
speed.
these cards is basically comprised of 3 or 4 artists that have worked on it in one way or another in some capacity, right? Whether it's choosing the color for the banner, and we've just really knocked it out of the park with being able to, everybody can collaborate well together without, coming to blows, right?
I love it.
The
I love
artists
how
are
it's. I like how you can have different type here too on the Hung Father. It's just like goes with what the card is, right?
Yeah, so the promos are going to be. Yeah, the promos are really going to be out there, right? So when you scroll down, you start looking at our comments, which are going to be in our launch series. We've been a little bit more careful with with things where we want the banner to be basically the same, right? You don't want to mess with the banner too much. You want it all to be fairly what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Uniform.
Uniform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Johan, when you put your mouse over that, it's going to change from the X card to the Y card. When you take it off, it's going to go back.
Oh yeah.
X.
Oh, so it's a different name.
Yeah, you can see the different name when you hover over it, right? So you got Cowlick Vitalik, Sashimi Satoshi and Satoshi Hakamoto.
And Hothead Hodgkinson, Ass Charles.
Chapped Ass Charles,
Bottom McAfee, Johnsonless John. Wow, awesome.
So you can very clearly tell that those first 6 were all done by the same artist, right? It's just the style is very similar, right? And so and again, the reason why that is because I needed something to lead with to show Aris and Mike and everybody else, right? You can't just say, hey, I want to do this, but not have anything to show, right? So that was what got them hooked, right? So they got hooked when they saw the cards and they went, oh, I see where we're going here, and count me in.
That's awesome.
So,
I haven't seen these ones down here. I haven't seen Mark Cubano.
What's that, Johan?
Oh, I haven't seen these guys. These ones down here.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. See, now you have the secret page, right? So we drop that all day long in our Telegram. And again, that's a good reason why people want to get in our Telegram, is because we're always showing the best stuff and all the content, you know. And of course, I try to email everybody, you know, with all the updates too. But everything really does kind of get dropped. All the announcements happen, you know, first in the Telegram.
This is great. I love it.
So what do you think of those names there? Since you're new to this page, and you probably haven't seen those new names, but check them out, you know.
JK frowning. JK trolling.
I love the Billy Childish. That's awesome. That's one of my favorite ones for sure.
Which one?
I love the diversity of the set. The set's just so much different art from all the different artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
Billy Childish name.
Yeah, let's go over
awesome.
the artists, right? So, you know, as you can see here, that last one, Radioactive Rodman, that's done by a really, really fantastic Indonesian artist, Suryanto Sur, right? And he's going to be, he's also involved in a couple other things that we have going. So he has a very unique art style that is just, you know, I mean, you can't look at that and then think that, you know, it looks wildly different from the other ones. You know, we have J.K. Frowning there. That's Mihak Jain from India. So, you know, we've got someone representing India there. We've got someone representing Indonesia there. We've got Billy Childish. And if you put the cursor over, you see it, the variant.
That's cool. And this one looks different too.
Yeah, right. So that one's done by Mugen, right? Mugen did that one. And then Zuckerborg. I mean, you almost can't say these names without laughing, right? You got Zuckerborg.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. You can't. I love it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different, you know, representing a lot of different countries and a lot of different art styles, and that's what it's really all about, you know.
It's really eclectic and just bespoke, every single card, and that kind of builds the charm of it, to be honest.
The glitch is happening.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it's just there's a charm to it of having everything different like that, and just have different artists and different styles.
And we really hope there's going to be something for everyone, right? I mean, we would be thrilled. We would be really happy to see, you know, collectors maybe just choosing subsets, you know. So like if you're a fan of Aris's art, maybe you just want to collect those cards, right?
Interesting.
You know, that's the point. You know, we hope there's something for everyone.
Well, it was awesome having you guys on for talking about this project, and we hope to see more. CryptoTwerpz on Twitter, and CryptoTwerpz t.me CryptoTwerpz. Those are the two places. Maine, CryptoTwerpz Maine.
There you go.
Awesome.
Anything else, Matt, that you'd like to drop on us right now?
Boy, you put me on the spot here. Jeez. You know, the lucky chart card.
Sure we didn't forget anything.
Let's explain a little more on the lucky chart card, right? Because this is really going to be the first way that most people will have heard of it, right? And so the lucky chart card is limited to 100, right? Most of our promos are limited to around 100. You know, at the most 200, 250. We have some other ideas rolling around that I don't want to give away just yet, but that lucky chart card is our airdrop card, right? And so that's going to entitle you to some amount of airdrops at our discretion, and we're going to be pricing that card at, I think right now it's $50 equivalent in wax, so I think that's around 1,300 some odd wax. And we're going to be placing those cards in different marketplaces, right? So collectibles.io. Really, I really want to be, you know, plugging Roy's wax stash first and foremost. I mean, he is just really gone out of his way to work with us and to feature our series. So, you know, thanks so much for that, Roy. And then Simple Market, right? Simplemarket.io is Crypto Lions' little place. So we're going to have 3 markets. We're going to be drip feeding, dropping these cards various places. And if you want to pick one up, go check those out. And by the time this air goes public, I think that's our plan, is to have them be available by then. So yeah.
Okay, so Lucky Chart will be available within days.
Absolutely. That's
Perfect.
our plan.
Awesome. Can't wait, guys. This is an awesome project, and it's great having you on.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, guys. It's been a real pleasure.
Always a blast.
Thank you very much.
All right. Peace out, homies.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Aloha.